But at the same time, it's kind of like import fit check. Yeah. But at the same time, look at that expensive. Yeah, you could put a couple on that chair. What's up, Team YouTube? It's your boy Dom Antoine, and I am back from Arizona with my first video. So this will just be a brief trip overview. So, you know, just to give you an idea of the content that is to come as I mix it in with my regular content. But yeah, I will say the one thing about only being gone for a few days. I'm less worried about how tight I need to pack stuff. I'm just worried about having most of the things I need. So yeah, we got 3 pairs of boxers, 6 pairs of socks, or 3 pairs of socks, 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, and maybe I'll throw on another pair of shorts just in case. Yeah. Bada boom, bada bing. I think we got action. And that's actually where I kind of first fucked up at, because I actually needed, I was gone for the 23rd to the 27th. So I actually needed about 45 pairs of, you know, essentials. I was fortunate enough to have like a washer or a dryer on site, but you might not have that same luck. Just keep that in mind, that stuff like that, it's almost better just to bring more than what's expected.
That girl is a runner, she was born to get away. Hear that two-tone humming, headed out to the highway. I should have seen it coming, through the years left in the dust. But after all the lessons learned, it would end the both of us. There's a first for everything, like a hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love.
I don't know exactly what's going on with DHS funding. I show that it's still like, not currently being funded, but the hold times or the wait times for TSA security lines, for the most part, it was kept mostly at the low. So, it might be a good time to travel now that we're outside of the holiday season. What's up, Team YouTube? Just sneaking a shit before I gotta head on the plane.
Set her free, I taught her how to leave. In the summer, man, it feels like yesterday, when she was looking out that window on the bus to second grade. The first step she'd ever take, the first cut from a heartbreak. Been through it all, but now it's time to go our separate ways. There's a first for everything, like a hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye.
It's actually kind of funny because, it was my first time going to a hotel in a long time. So, in reality, I prefer to stay in a hostel. Yeah. I didn't meet anybody interesting from the hotel specifically. So I didn't, but I also didn't spend a bunch of time there. So, I'm used to staying at hostels or in communal living situations. So this was definitely outside of my comfort zone. Humble abode. So I guess it's not as bad as it looks from the outside. But at the same time, it's kind of like airport fit check. Yeah. But at the same time, look at that expensive. Yeah, you could put a couple on that chair. Like this little bitch. Tell me why the motherfucking light don't. Oh, okay. We ain't even gonna see the bottom. Oh, fuck. Yeah, this is a shower shoe only type of tub. But you know, I'm actually kind of impressed. You know, we got some towels in here. No washcloths though. So I actually thought like the products that they provided within the shower was fine. I don't know why, but I always feel like there's some random ass white woman's hair within like the soap itself, like the hand soap that they give you. You know, that's always kind of grotesque. Or, you know, you just always find some type of random hair that you may not have been expecting prior. Honestly, the whole time I was at the hotel, it was very little because I didn't spend too much time there. I think for the most part, when you're traveling to places where family is, you probably want to like to stay on their couch if possible. You know, even for a fee, just because like I could have saved money like Ubering back and forth from the hotel to their place, and I kind of did because you know I was able to play them like $10 gas money as opposed to paying $30 for $20 to $30 for a lift, which was nice. But occasionally I still had to do it, so still kind of a lose lose.
Hype me up.
Hey, but what I meant, Dom, like as far as words of affirmation,
It's crazy, man. It's like
I get people need them. It's just I don't know the
You
reasoning
don't.
behind because
I'm
I
saying you
need
don't.
reasoning on why things happen in life, right?
Right, and they may need that as well. You know.
Yeah, but
He
but what
gets
would
it
be
off
your
of
reasoning
action.
though?
Hey man, leave it to a light skinned person. They gonna gaslight you. What do I mean when I say words of affirmation? They may need that reasoning as well. Well, they may need you to verbalize that reasoning so you can clear up a very vague area of the relationship. So, for example, what I think an area that always needs to be addressed is what someone constitutes as cheating, because I think depending on what type of relationship you're in, that can mean something different for everyone. So, you know, it's for me personally, it's important to verbalize what that is. That way, when people start crossing boundaries, you know when they're clearly out of line. What's up, Team YouTube? It's your boy Dom Antoine. Today, I'm just writing or providing a verbal statement of what has happened so far on my trip. What's up, Team YouTube? I'm live from Phoenix, Arizona, currently walking to the dispensary. Yeah, I thought, you know, I'd just get a little practice.
You're showing me is not in the intention of love. It's over. I don't need to fight for something because why would you do something that's not in an action of love towards me? Why would you do an action that's in an action of hate towards me?
I think it's mostly because the words like love and hate are subjective, right? I think as, you know, people, we live in an individualistic society. So while I might not do something that's considered hate or love to you, maybe I do something that's in my own best interest, and maybe that ends up causing us to fall out. That doesn't mean I hate you personally. That just means I, you know, had to look out for myself.
So Team YouTube is your boy Dom.
And yeah, and that's pretty much all the trip was. I didn't, you know, we talked a bunch. Not only did I talk to Marcus and Malik, I also talked to Chris. I talked to his family. You know, I also saw the kids and things like that. But for the most part, that trip was pretty much just like a family roll call. You know, touch base with people that you haven't seen so far. That's why at first I may have seemed a little bit down. That's also one of my biggest fears of leaving long term is what if all of a sudden I feel sad? what if I want to like all of a sudden back out? And in my opinion, once I'm out in the world, I just want to stay out. So, but this next part, this is kind of me just returning to Minneapolis. A certain situation that I'm going to explain pretty much describes exactly why I'm staying at this hotel, even after my arrival.
I'm Antoine. Today, unfortunately, my damn leasing agency, they went ahead and they removed my keys from under the bush that I had. Well, not them specifically, but the landscaping company that they hired to replace the bushes that I had my keys under while I was on vacation, I guess. But you know what that means? That means my staycation has begun. I bring you to the Amoxie Hotel over South, baby. But yeah, so here we are. Major upgrade from the last place, you know what I'm saying? Look at this fucking dough, man. This fucking dough. And when I say look at this fucking dough, I mean it slides, bro. Look at the fucking bathroom. Look at that fucking bathroom. Oh, it's actually comfortable. God damn, look at they even got a place for you to sit down at. So you can sit down and wash your ass. But then the rest of the room.
So at this specific point here, I kind of realized that, just because I'm breaking down the footage as I'm presenting it, I kind of realized that this part here could have been more, could have showed more vertical of the room, like up and down. I feel like, I am kind of tall, so I feel like you're seeing the upper portion, but you're not necessarily seeing the lower portion. So that's just something to consider as I move forward in shooting content like this.
Look at it. Doesn't it look official? I think so.
Hype me up.
Yeah, so I think for the most part, it was a fantastic trip. Even the only thing that I hated was the amount of money that I spent. Spent a ridiculous amount of money. I don't even want to say. There's several ways that I could have saved more money, but I think when I'm like actually out in the world on sabbatical, for example, I'm just gonna be more like living like a homeless person than someone who's who's having any type of success with any type of money. Like even if I do become successful or have any type of money during this trip, I'm just always gonna pretend like I don't have it, just because I know how expensive things can be when you travel, and sometimes you may need to stay in unforeseen accommodations. But I'd rather my unforeseen accommodations be on the lower end, so I just want to start that off as a baseline. That way, I am comfortable going with a little bit more. But the other option was sleeping outside at the airport, and I did that before, so I should have been fine doing that. But I don't know how y'all feel about sleeping at the airport from 12 a.m. to 10 a.m. But that's when I was able to pick up my keys in order to go back to my own apartment. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Till next time.